Hey everybody, and welcome to Weight Loss Wednesday. I'm Chef AJ, the creator of the Ultimate Weight Loss Program, and this is where I show you recipes for healthy, permanent, and sustainable weight loss. First of all, I'd like to thank Deborah for this beautiful hat. It says, never give up, keep on going. Or maybe it says, keep on going, never give up. I can't read it. So which does it say, Pam? It says something very nice.
Keep on going, never give up.
Right, and if you are struggling with your weight, know that it's not your fault. Watch The Real Truth About Weight Loss Summit. There's always hope. And thank you for the hat because it's purple, and purple's my favorite color. Now, in a previous episode, I showed you the easy barbecue sauce from my book, The Secrets to Ultimate Weight Loss. It was a recipe that was submitted by Mairead Reddy, and it's delicious and it's easy. And one day I just didn't have any tomato paste, and I was really craving barbecue sauce because that's my favorite condiment, especially when I'm making fries, especially when I'm making in the air fryer, air fries. And barbecue sauce generally has a lot of sugar and a lot of salt, and even some of the plant-based ones are great, but they have a lot of dates, which I love dates, and I'd much rather use dates than sugar, but they're still 1,300 calories per pound, and I just don't want them around the house. So I wanted something really sweet and yummy and delicious. So I made this recipe up called the World's Best Damn Barbecue Sauce. And I never released it because one of the ingredients isn't available anymore. And what I used was a 14-ounce bag of roasted, was it roasted? Yeah, fire roasted bell peppers and onion from Trader Joe's. And then all of a sudden it's not there, and they say it's not discontinued, but I can't find it. And I found a company online that makes them, but you have to buy like a gazillion. So I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna use red bell pepper. So I'm using an equivalent amount. I'm using 14 ounces of fresh red bell pepper, and it works fine. I would recommend, if you could fire roast it, do it. And by that I mean, if you have a gas burner, a lot of people just roast their own bell peppers over an open flame. For the first time in my life, I live in a house, and for the first time I have gas burners instead of electric, and I can't figure out how to do it. I don't know if you can get a close-up of this oven, but the thing is when I light it, the flame doesn't come up. So if any of you out there have an oven like this or a stove like this, let me know, because I couldn't figure out how to roast it, but it's still gonna be delicious with all the other ingredients. And if you live anywhere where you can find that 14-ounce bag of frozen onion and bell pepper, let me know the brand, and I'll start using that again. But this is great because there's so much nutrition and vitality and fresh. It's just the fire roasted ones that frozen, they were just yummy. All right, so let's get started. Need a blender. Actually need a blender top as well. That would make a lot of sense. This makes a lot more than the previous recipe I showed you, which is great, because if you love barbecue sauce like me, you're gonna want it, and especially if you ever made my double baked mashed potato, sweet potato strata. This is what goes in between the layers. So I'm starting with a 14-ounce can of fire roasted tomatoes by Muir Glen. These are BPA-free cans. Again, the fire roasting just adds a little bit more dimension, depth of flavor, and I always get the salt-free. Easy to find in most natural grocery stores, if not online, very affordably. So I'm gonna put that in. If you don't wanna use cans, then just figure out an equal amount of tomatoes. I'm going to use my 14 ounces of fresh red bell pepper. Please use red. Green bell pepper, first of all, I don't care for it, but they're not ripe. People that get indigestion from bell peppers, it tends to be from the green, not the red, the yellow, or the orange. And the reason that red, I've told, are more expensive than green is because they are ripe and they just taste better. I'm using a 3-ounce bag of sun-dried tomatoes without salt or oil or sulfites. You can get these, again, I've seen these at Trader Joe's, Whole Foods, just Sprouts, pretty much everywhere. Just get a brand without salt or oil. Did you know that it takes 4 pounds of tomatoes to make 3 ounces of sun-dried tomatoes? And that's why they have so much depth in their flavor, especially for when you're doing salt-free cooking. So we're gonna add that to the blender. And then we are going to add a 1/2 cup of a really good quality reduced balsamic vinegar. Now, my favorite in this recipe, because I love the hickory flavoring, is the smoked balsamic. This is from California Balsamic. Other companies make similar flavors. I just love these 3-ounce bottles because I travel so much and they get through TSA. So I am using the smoked because it gives it a hickory flavor. But I'm thinking that if you are a fan of California Balsamics, the sweet heat or the habanero would also be great in here. This would be more spicy, and this would be very, very spicy, but the barbecue is not spicy, it's just smoky. So then I've got my seasonings, and as you know, if you've ever watched me before, I always measure them out in advance for recipes that I do over and over. And so what these are is 1 tablespoon of a good quality smoked paprika, much different than regular Hungarian or sweet. 1 tablespoon smoked paprika, a teaspoon of cumin, ground cumin, not the seeds, a teaspoon of garlic powder, a teaspoon of onion powder, a 1/2 teaspoon of mustard powder, and a 1/4 teaspoon of chipotle powder. And if you want it a little spicier, you could use one of the other vinegars or just add a little bit more chipotle powder. So now I'm going to blend it up. Sounded like a loud, long time to you, but it actually was only 20 seconds. And I know that because the blender has a timer. And then I'm gonna serve it with some delicious air-fried Yukon Gold potatoes. Oh my God, look at that, you guys. This is fit for a queen. And a queen is actually gonna eat it right now because Pam is hungry from doing all this filming. Look at that, easy, delicious. You don't need sugar. You don't need oil, you don't need salt. You just need good, delicious, whole, natural food. The more potatoes you eat, the leaner you'll be. I swear, don't be afraid of potatoes. Don't be afraid of starch. Dr. McDougall was right over 40 years ago. It's the fat you eat. It's the fat you wear. So carb the you-know-what up, people. And I'm Chef AJ. Thank you so much for watching. I really believe you can have the health in the body that you so richly deserve, and I make it delicious. Take care.